We are ready to go. You can start,
Yes.
sir.
Shall I
So,
introduce? Shall I introduce?
on behalf of the PN Panika Foundation and the National Digital Library of India, we are very happy to invite you for this webinar on health and hygiene of school-going children by our renowned friend and renowned cardiologist, Dr. Pankaj Kumar Srivastava, who is a very good friend of the PN Panika Foundation, and also our Balagopal ji. And he has taken out his time from his very busy schedule, and he is with us today. So I am very thankful, and we are very pleased to have Dr. Pankaj. I had an opportunity to travel with him to some locations in Kerala, and I found him very humble, very modest, and very a down to earth person without having any attitude. He mingles with starting from the chief executives till the lowest rank of the employees. So that's one of the kind qualities that I liked about Dr. Pankaj. And I'm sure with this expertise and intellectual knowledge, I think our participants will gain a lot of uh, knowledge on this very important topic of hygiene and health of school going children. Over to Balagopalji, and once again, I welcome Dr. Pankaj Srivastava for this webinar. Over to
Thank you.
Balagopalji. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Vignesh ji. You have rightly said he's a pupil's doctor because he never sits in the air-conditioned room. He goes to the field. Though he's a cardiac surgeon, he goes to the field and attract people. People means the patients. They also like to have his presence because they are getting what you call the real that word okay. He is like the what you call the during the this outbreak of Father Damien. I used to say Father like Father Damien. He goes to the field in the remotest corner. We took him. I took him because I understood his qualities, and with his initiative, we also formed a Janus initiative, one of the good organization, a profit, not-for-profit organization, formed by him in Tiruvalla, Kerala. Now it is spreading. Every is growing like Vamana. So I took it with me, and now in all our we have organized the PN Panikar Foundation has organized a lot of medical camps as part of our digital e-Arogyam. This because digital this health literacy as part of the health literacy. He was the main man who can give me the real technical support when we organize in the remote parts of Kerala. We need a technical man who love to reach the poorest to the poor. That is his quality. Because we had organized more than 120 medical camps in the rural parts of Kerala with a bus also, with a articulated bus, fitted with all sophisticated machineries required for heart surgery and other things. Because we found that the youth of India are attracted because of their no exercise, and they are eating meat and other products. They are prone to health problems. So we made a survey also. At that time, that was in 2011-12. We found that 33% of the Kerala youth is uh, is suffering heart-related health problems. And Dr. Pankaj ji, cardiac patient, cardiac surgery, and he loves to go to the instead of sitting in the his AC room or in the what they call the operation theater, but he spends 18 hours, 16 to 18 hours in hospital theater, but he derives pleasure meeting with the poorest to the poor, and that's why I am taking him as one of my main associate in spreading the health literacy program. And he is now and PN Panikar Foundation's initiatives in Uttar Pradesh, taking literacy through digital literacy. And Mr. Pankaj Srivastava is the main man behind these activities. In fact, he and PN Padikar together, this Janus Initiative and PN Padikar Foundation adopted a village, no, not village, district, UP, Honda, I think, Honda, a district of the Uttar Pradesh. And we started with digital health literacy program because literacy as the main part, as part of the seven literacy programs PN Padikar Foundation is implementing throughout the country. And with him, I traveled the interior parts of the UP, and we could do a lot of wonderful work. And he is giving the what you call the leadership in taking this message to the school children. And he has adopted a lot of programs in UP and giving them toothbrush, toothbrush and what you call that toothpaste, and then soaps, oils, etc. For at least they can have hygiene. And he's free, distributing free of cost. And then also medicines also in Kerala when we had these unprecedented what you call floods. Along with Pankaj, organized some 10 programs in each district where Idiki, Alappuzha and Kottayam, the three districts where this flood was affected. And we distributed, he only bought all these, some 1,000 blankets, new blankets. He bought 1,000 blankets to distribute among these medical camp beneficiaries. That's his greatness. And he's spending the entire money, whatever he's earned from his profession, he's spending the entire money for the uplift of the rural poor. I'm welcoming Dr. Pankaj Kumar Srivastava to this program. Thank you, Vignesh. Over to Pankaj Kumarji.
Thank you, Balgopalji. First of all, thanks for such a elaborate and very kind introduction. I don't think I deserve that much praise, but yeah, it is your greatness that you have supported me, and I think you are the inspiration of whatever we are doing in Janus Initiative. Because, are you there?
He is there.
Hello?
He is there. His video has been stopped.
So I think first of all, I would like to thank Balgopalji and PN Panikar Foundation for inviting me to talk to all of you and tell you something about what we are working on, hygiene and health issues of the school-going children. And good afternoon, my dear friends, colleagues, and anybody and everybody who is on our platform now. I think I am associated with Balgopalji for last 14 years. I went to Kerala in 2005, and in 2006 we had a meeting of CNRI in Delhi, and where I met this young dynamic gentleman, Balgopalji. He was all around, running around, organizing the activity. His energy and passion, sincerity and dedication is a inspiration to many of us. And I hope that many of people like me will get inspired by his activities. So I think, as he said, in Kerala, when I was there from 2005 to 2013, we went around along with Balgopalji only. He provided me the opportunity to interact with a lot of villages, lot of rural population through his programs or through our program of Janus Initiative and Dr. K.M. Cherry and Heart Foundation. So it was a very nice association in Kerala. And 2013, I came back to UP. And we started Janus Initiative activities in UP as well. So In 2011, we formed, officially we formed Janus Initiative, I think under the patronship of Balgopalji. So it was in Tiruvalla and Kerala. And now we are having our activities mainly in backward districts of UP like Gonda, Bahraich, Balrampur, Shravasti. These are like some 120 kilometers from Lucknow. So this is a small introduction and my association with Balgopalji. You people all know about Balgopalji, so I need not elaborate about him. But yes, again, his energy and his passion for anything and everything he does is incomparable. Janus Initiative, we are working in health and education sector. As I think everybody understands, health and education both are interrelated, especially when it comes to school going children. If the education is there, means you are more educated, you are supposed to be more healthy. And if you are healthy only, you can get a proper education, otherwise it is a problem. I think a lot of organizations like UNICEF, WHO and all that have emphasized about the role of school health in their program, Education for All. They also feel that there is, the children, if they are healthy only, the education for all objective can be achieved. Our almost 20% of population, around 26 crore children are now in schools. And it is said like 80% of them are enrolled, almost 20% of them are still not enrolled in the primary school, and whosoever is enrolled also 80% of them only go to school regularly, 20% do not go to the schools. Another data about school health is the importance of the school health is that 60% of the death in school going children is due to infectious diseases. Infectious disease, mainly it is diarrhea and pneumonia. So 60% of the deaths are caused by infectious diseases. So if infectious diseases are causing this death, and the most effective prevention for infectious diseases is always hygiene. Maintenance of hygiene means the infectious disease can be reduced by 50 to 60% by simply by following one procedure, that is hand washing with soap. Uh, I think you may be knowing that in 2018 and 19, there were about 1 lakh deaths that were related to diarrhea. So now we are talking about Corona, and now in 3 months, 4 months, about 23,000 deaths have occurred, and it is a big issue. But can you imagine that this happens every year with the children for diarrheal diseases? So if we were so passionate and so, if, means we were very effective, whatever we are doing for Corona now, like hand washing, wearing a mask, social distancing, only if you'd have bothered about sanitization, these diarrheal diseases would have been reduced by 50%. So 50,000 children would have been saved just by hand washing, by soap. So this is what a hygiene program can do. That is what we are trying to do. That we are trying to tell children how to use uh, properly the soap, the toothpaste, toothbrush, and keep themselves clean. There's a program called Fresh, focusing resources on effective school health. This was launched by UNICEF, WHO, and World Bank in 2000. And there also the aim was like, if we have a proper school health program, the education for all target can be achieved. I was just going through a paper that was published in August 2016. Uh, the researcher was working in Hyderabad, urban and rural areas, and they conducted a study on school going children. And can you imagine in Hyderabad itself, in urban area, the incidence of underweight children was around 56% as compared to 58% in rural areas. Anemia was 30% in urban area and 44% in rural areas. Skin diseases, again 36% in urban areas and 46% in rural areas. So dental issues, 36% in urban areas, 39%. It is like not much of a difference between urban and rural areas. I'll say 2-3% does not make a much difference, but that is the condition in Hyderabad. Can you imagine the condition in UP, Bihar, Rajasthan, MP, where the things are not that good? So, the school health program, I think, should be a priority. Government is taking it seriously, but I think there may be lack of uh, sincerity, lack of passion, or whatever it is said. The effectiveness of the program is not seen. So I think that is where our role comes as non-profit organization, civil society organization, that we can also pitch in and help the government in achieving education for all and good health for all school-going children. Janus Initiative as such, we are working on 3 programs, as I said, health and education. First program is like hygiene kit distribution, children hygiene kit distribution. Second is about the school health checkup program and putting it on to the apps. And third program is meritorious students scholarship program, where we are distributing a scholarship to, at present 19 students are getting a scholarship of 12,000 rupees per year. So again, as I said, that major program is children hygiene kit distribution, as Bal Gopalji was telling, that our hygiene kit is like a small box in which we have like soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, nail cutter, comb, tongue cleaner. I think these are the things which we have, and we distribute to the mainly to the rural areas or semi-urban areas. I think people who know about UP, Gonda and Bahraich and all, Balrampur, Shravasti, these are the areas which are underdeveloped areas in UP. And Bal Gopalji is talking about aspirational districts. So Bahraich and Shravasti comes in aspirational districts where we have to work even more hard. So this is like what I was talking, ki hygiene. We have to tell our children to wash their hands with soap uh, while before eating, after going to toilet. This is a basic thing for many of us. We will not understand that this is not being done still in lot of villages, lot of schools. Lot of children are not following these basic hygiene principles. Only if you go to the areas, rural areas, you will understand that they do not have enough to eat, so they do not want to spend anything on soap. They do not want to spend anything on toothpaste. Even when, see, I am also from a rural background where we used to wash our hands with the this ashes which used to come from chula. So now also that practice is still common in many areas of UP, Bihar, and many other states. So we have to work on it because there are studies which say hand washing, simple hand washing with soap will reduce the diarrheal incidence as well as deaths by 50% simply by washing hands with soap before eating and after going to toilet. I think Corona pandemic has shown us even more importance of hygiene, sanitization, mask, and social distancing. SMS. Sanitization is basically hand washing, or if you have sanitizer, you can use sanitizer. And fortunately, Corona may be spreading, but other infectious diseases like diarrhea, like viral fever, the incidence has come down simply because we are following this hand hygiene techniques. We are not touching anybody. We are washing our hands regularly. We are wearing masks. And so the spread of viral infections or even bacterial infections in between us is reduced. So people are getting little healthier. We'll say that they are not eating outside. So in the cities, the gastrointestinal problems are coming down. So hygiene kit we have been distributing gradually over the period of time, but last year on 10th August, we distributed almost 10,000 hygiene kits. I think Balgopalji was there last year. And this year, because the schools are not open and the condition prevailing, so we plan to postpone this event to Gandhi Jayanti. And with Bal Gopalji, PN Panikar Foundation coming in, and CCSI, that is Confederation of Civil Societies of India, they are also collaborating with us. And we plan to distribute around 1 lakh kits during Gandhi Jayanti. So, and it will be a national program. Last year when we distributed, it was basically in UP and then Bangalore, Bhopal, and some few areas. But this year, with Bal Gopalji getting in and CCA coming in, I think we will be able to make it a national program. This is basically to make people more aware about hygiene and health issues of school-going children. So I think this is a big program, and we all hope and pray that we will be able to make some impact on hygiene of school-going children. Second program which we run is a school health program, where we go to schools, do the health checkup of the children, and we have developed a school health app as well. I'll show you that school health app we have with our Docs Near Me. Can you see this school health app?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
my assistant Ashish is there. He is the technical expert, like Dr. Venkatesh there. So we have this school health app where we enter all the data of the children, and this app link is sent to the parents as well as to the school administrators, so that they can also follow up. And our program is like every 6 months we go to the school, do the health checkup, put this in on the app, and along with that we are planning to have like their previous vaccination record or their prescriptions. The photograph can be taken and put in this app, so it can be like a health repository for them, a medical record for the children. So parents, wherever they are going all over India or even around the world, they have the health record of their children with them, and it will be very helpful for them. So with Docs Near Me, we have developed this school health app, and we are also developing vaccination app. In that, where as soon as the child is born, like his name will be entered into the app with the parent's name, and the parents will be sent reminders about the vaccination program, immunization, when he has to get it done, what has been done, what has not been done, and he will be sent the reminder, okay, your vaccination is due, please come and get the vaccination done. So this app also we are developing. Hopefully by 2nd October, we will launch this vaccination app as well. So this health program also will help us in making our parents and school health children about their health issues. We have conducted our health programs, and what we see here is around 40 to 50% have dental issues. Again, around 40-50% have ENT problems. कान बहना जिसको बोलते हैं कि lot of students are having their discharge from the ear, or they are able to listen less. Around 10 to 20% are having eye problems, vision problems. I can tell you about an incident where we went to Bahraich. I think one school is there, and this boy was around 6 or 7 year old. So when we are telling him to see the board, with one eye, he is able to read everything. But when we told him to read from the another eye, he is trying to push our hand. So we were not able to understand why he is pushing our hand. So every time we tell him to close this eye, he is not able to do that. So then we understood that he is not able to see from one eye, and he is only seeing from one eye. And this condition is well known. If it is known earlier in the childhood, this can be treated. But by 6, 7 years, almost 1 year becomes blind. So this is the importance of the school health program, where we catch the health issues in the very beginning and alert the parents, refer them to somewhere so that a proper treatment can be taken. Otherwise, it is going to be a big problem. If children are not healthy, then our nation's future is not healthy, because they are going to be the future of the nation. So if children are healthy, then only our future is healthy. Not only we focus on physical health, I think our counselors, psychological counselors are there with us to come along with us to do counseling as well. Not only for the students, but we try to get parents involved into the counseling so that they know how to rear up the children, how to manage growing up children. So that is also an important issue nowadays. You are seeing that mental health issues are coming very frequently during this corona pandemic, lockdown and unlock, and children are staying at home, and a lot of issues. So mental health should not be neglected, and it should be taken care of. And we are trying to take care of it through our counselors. And I think through Docs Near Me, regularly we are conducting sessions, FB Live and other sessions. Telephonically, we have a free psychological help line where anybody can take free consultations, psychological consultations as well. In this year, I think we can tell you, we are happy to announce that about a group of 80 Rotary clubs, I think you will be knowing, district Rotary districts. Some Rotary district is getting involved with us, which is having around 80 Rotary clubs associated with them for this school health program. Janus initiative with Rotary Health Club, we will be conducting camps in this 80 club areas. So around 10,000 students, we are thinking maybe around 10,000 students in next 1 year, we will be having a school health checkup program with them. So I invite anybody and everybody, if anybody wants to get associated with us and they want to learn and do a school health program with us, they are most welcome. They can even talk to Bal Gopalji. Bal Gopalji was telling that we can even start in Tamil Nadu, or even for the migrant population of Kerala, where children are there who are not so educated, or they are not going to school properly, they do not have a proper hygiene. So for them also we can do it actually. So I think these are the basic programs, and the meritorious school children program, where we are giving a scholarship of 12,000 rupees per student for 3 years to complete their graduation or higher studies. This is also mainly for girls. 80% of them are girls, where we feel that they are not promoted, or if there is education is expensive, parents intend to say, okay, you do not study. So we try to support them. There are 3 girls whom we are supporting beyond 3 years because they want to do something more. Of them, 2 girls are there who are preparing for engineering after doing their polytechnic course, and we are now supporting them for last 5 years. And we said, till you get selected, we will keep on supporting you. So we tried from our side that somehow we can help people in getting proper education, whatever they feel like. So these are the some initiatives with our Janus program, and I'll say inspiration behind all this is Bal Gopalji. I took Bal Gopalji, I called him. Bal Gopalji comes for our annual function every year. We conduct in August. This time it will not happen because of COVID. But then definitely I took him to Bahraich, one interior village I took where we had a school health program in a primary school, one Sadhuapur village in Masi block. And Bal Gopalji was very happy to see this program. I took him to Gonda. He was talking about literacy to illiteracy. So I think we'll keep on calling him more and more, and through him we'll conduct more and more programs. And Janus Initiative is planning to have checkup of 1 crore children in next 10 years. And through your support, your help, your collaboration, definitely we'll be able to achieve it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bal Gopalji, Dr. Vignesh, and all the people who are on board. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for highlighting some of the critical issues. So some of the issues you pretty highlighted, like diarrhea and like infectious diseases, ENT diseases, vision issues, because these days with the usage of mobile phones, many of the children, like I have a son, and in his class, at least out of 20 students, 5 to 6 of them are having severe eye vision problem, including my son. So in fact, the example you gave of one eye with one eye closed, he is not able to read, which we realized only in the last 10 days back. He was never sharing it with us, and he was saying like, I just have power issue, some issue. He never shares it. So this is some of the critical issues that you highlighted, and many of our participants might also agree or come across similar such issues. uh, so thank you for highlighting this, sir. So now we can have a small question and answer session, and one of the questions or comments from Miss Archana Prasad. She is saying like she has done similar programs, Wash Wins program under the Rotary service at various schools in rural areas in Maharashtra. So that is one comment that she has pasted. Another one question is from Miss Kanta Sharma. Uh, her question is, how do we take mental health for board exam students, because as they are grown up and they are very hesitant in sharing their problems. So how do we take up this uh, mental health issue with grown up students, especially the 10th and 10, 11 and 12 students?
I think there are CBSE certified counselors. We have like Dr. Kumar Srivastav with us. She's a CBSE certified counselor, and she has a helpline. And we through DocsNME have been telling all the people like, see, first of all, I would request all the parents and maybe teachers also, like what I have seen. Uh, Now, if you go through Facebook or WhatsApp, now recently, last 2 days, after the 12th exam results have come, everybody has been putting, my son, my daughter has got 91% marks, 94% marks, 93% marks. You are focusing on the percentage of marks of your children. You are not happy your child has passed the exam. You are comparing. Now once you say you have got 94%, you have got 91% marks, you are definitely comparing him with anybody else. So my request to all the parents is, first of all, stop comparing your child with anybody else. Secondly, don't push him. Most of our parents, they do is what they have not achieved, they want their children to achieve that. Maybe their child is not interested in his studies, or maybe his interest is something else. We want to make him a doctor. He does not want to become a doctor. There are so many things we have seen. There are so many famous doctors who tried to make their son or daughter a doctor, and they have failed miserably because he has done MBBS, but he is not, neither he is a good doctor nor a good person. He is frustrated. So it is like that. Don't push your children for anything. Be a friend rather than being a strict taskmaster. No, you have to do this, you have to do this. Let them be free, guide them, be their friend, talk to them. Don't just throw them, okay, okay, he's studying. Nowadays, social media is a big culprit. Maybe you are not talking to him, so he is talking to somebody else. He's sharing his this thing with somebody else, and you are not there. So there is a gap between you and your child. So this gap has to be reduced. If this gap is reduced, probably these mental problems which are coming will not come. So don't focus on numbers. Allow your child to follow his interest, support him, be his friend.
Next question is from Nidhi Agrahari. Her question is, I'm a primary school teacher. Many students of her school basically come from very poor background. And if the school opens for students during this lockdown period, what strategy should be taken for keeping the basic hygiene, for keeping them safe during this pandemic period?
My earnest suggestion to the government and the school management will be, do not open primary schools for next 3 months. It is very difficult to control these children who are between 5 to 10 years of age. Even adults are not coming under control. That is why we have to put lockdown. How will we control these children? It is going to be very difficult, and I do not think that next 3 months the school should be open. In case it is open, I will request them that 25% of attendance should be there. Only 25% of the kids should come to the school. And once they come, either sanitizer or washing their hands with this thing, mask on, you have to teach them and you have to show by example. You cannot dictate that you have to do this, you have to do this. You wear the mask, you do a proper sanitization, you maintain social distancing, and then only children will follow you. Otherwise, they will not follow. So even when adults are not following, if you see Bangalore, you see Chennai, why lockdown has been done? Because we people, as an adults, we have not followed the norm. We are not following social distancing. We are not putting on masks properly. So how we expect the children to follow that?
Sure. So the next question is from Miss Manju Sharma. Her question is, I want your guidance on how to deal with students who failed in class 12 in the board examinations.
I will just suggest, we have, I think, in docs near me, phone number is there, I'll give you. We have started a helpline for children who are having problem in this 12th exam board, they have failed. And our counselors are there. We have a board of counselors and they are available. Can somebody note down the number?
Sir, kindly tell me, sir.
9555
955
321
321
306.
306. So this is a counselor counseling.
This is the number where we will be able to connect you to any of the counselors, because the panel, there are 2-3 counselors. Whosoever is free and able to take the call, we will be able to connect. This is number of Mr. Ashish.
Okay.
Who will be able to connect you to the counselors.
Okay, Mr. Ashish.
I think one thing what I would like to suggest, because I keep on talking to people, try, and in your family itself or the teachers themselves, they can talk. When I am successful or even unsuccessful, we can have examples of people. Either it is Bill Gates who has not passed, or so many other people who have not passed examination. Dhirubhai Ambani, who became one of the richest, did not pass 12th standard. So, and 12th, it is not like 12th class numbers are going to be your lifeline always. Nowadays, if I am a cardiac surgeon, I am a successful person, Or Bal Gopalji, nobody is going to ask Bal Gopalji what were your number in 12th standard. 5 years, 10 years down the line, nobody is bothered about your 12th class numbers. Nobody is bothered about your high school numbers. And there are institutes, Harvard Institute, Massachusetts. If you are intelligent enough, they take you directly. There are people who are doing PhD at 17 years of age. So numbers do not count. And that is what I am saying. As Indians, we have to learn to celebrate failure. If we do not learn to celebrate failure, we will be a failed society. Because that is why people, they are not trying. We are back in research. We do not do proper research because every time we are worried about failure. So we should not worry about failure. Our elders, our seniors, our teachers, they should celebrate. Okay, you have tried and failed. No problem. Enjoy it. Do it again. You will succeed. People who try only will fail. People who do not try will not fail. If you don't take exam, you will never fail. So try. If you have tried, you failed, no problem. Try it again. That is not the end of the world.
Sure. So the next question, it's a similar question, so I'm clubbing it together. So this question is from Ms. Ruchika Singh and Mr. Dipakar Mohanty. What is the strategy of health and hygiene in the new normal after the school reopens?
I think, as I said, hygiene is definitely, see, I will say that in this crisis also, I see the opportunity. In this crisis, I see the opportunity that the diarrheal diseases will be less because we will follow these hygiene techniques. We'll follow hand washing. We will say, and we should tell our children, our students to wash their hands regularly after each class, after each session. They should go and wash their hands. Maintain a little bit of social distancing. It is very difficult for children to maintain social distancing. So at least have this thing, mask on and hand washing. These two things you can follow with the children. Social distancing with children, I think it is going to be very difficult. So especially with primary school children, it is going to be more and more difficult. But with hygiene, with people not eating outside, it is a very good thing for children. Even in the urban areas, people were going outside every week, having pizza, having fast food, outside food. So this all will reduce. And once this reduces, the health problems will be less. Maybe a little bit of corona infection scare is there, but all other infections and all other diseases, it will be much better. Your parents are, for better part of their time, they are at home. You are much more associated with your parents. Teachers will be there. So I think psychological problems, if the children are coming to the school, it will be less. Health issues will be less. Except corona, all other health issues are going to be little better.
Yes.
Except I think the playground will be one area where we have to watch out for, because their physical contact will be much more. And there we have to say that we have to sort out, we have to find out the games where the physical contact is not there. But allow children to play without coming to physical contact.
So this question is from a class 10 student. Her name is Disha. Sir, I'm a student of class 10. I get good marks and is very much interested in studies. But I know that what my parents would love to see me as in future, they don't force me at all. But I just feel that if I will become that particular thing, they would be more happy. There is no pressure from their side, but I just feel that. So could you please let me know whether it is correct or not?
So for her, Disha, isn't it?
Yeah,
Name?
Disha.
Disha, hello Disha. I am Dr. Pankaj. My mother's wish was that I become a doctor. Okay. And I also wanted to become a doctor. And now I am a doctor. So my mother was very happy and I am also very happy. So if nobody is forcing you and you are happy to do what your parents want, nothing like it. It is like icing on the cake that you also want and your parents also want. So you go ahead and do that. It will be much better because there is nothing like nobody is as good as a friend as your parents. Parents are your best friends. You have to understand that. But and if they are not forcing you, they love you and you love them and you feel that whatever you are doing, they are going to love it and you are not under any pressure. You should go ahead and do it. But if you want to do something else, you should also not hesitate to communicate to them. The mommy or papa, whatever it is, I want to do this. And I don't think they will ever say no to you. So it is up to you. If you want to become an engineer, a doctor, a fashion designer, it is up to you. You decide and become. No problems. There should be no regrets that I did not try. Otherwise, I would have been this. This is at this stage we have to realize. So you do whatever you feel like, and if you feel your parents will be happy with what you are doing, that is great. Keep on doing that, Disha. All the best.
Sir, one last question. So this question is from Miss Mritula Soni. Her question is give some suggestions or tips for the parents to manage the kids while sending them back to schools or sending them outside of home. What are some of the tips that you can give it to the parents as well?
Yeah, Dr. Vignesh. See, I'll say one thing. Basically, I'm a cardiac surgeon. I do cardiac surgery. I cut open the hearts. I have not much experience with the how to manage the kids too much, but still, uh, I'll say one thing. First of all, make the children understand what is the epidemic like. What is this corona? Why it is happening? And what are the chances of infection? But do not scare them. Tell them that these are the precautions which you should take, but do not get scared. Do not leave your normal life. Go and play alone, play, run around, have 2 or 3 friends, talk to them, enjoy your life. But yeah, keep a little bit of a distance. If you know that there are kids in your home, let them play with each other. There is no issue. But if they are going outside, you have to tell them that they have to maintain a distance. They have to repeatedly wash their hands. I will say sanitizer, don't tell them to use sanitizer too much. If they can wash their hands with soap, that is the best part of it. Otherwise, if soap and water is not available, sanitizer can definitely be used. And for long term, I'll say that make your children a little bit more sturdy, more strong. Don't make them stay in AC environment all the time. AC room, AC car, AC school. No. Let them play in mud. Let them play in soil. Let them fall down. Let them fight with each other for some time. No problem. Let them grow like a normal human being. Do not protect all the time.
UN health minister
And I will say even
health
in
minister
Corona,
Delhi.
even in Corona, the children sometimes they are getting infected, but their cure rate is very high. So very few children are like succumbing to Corona. A lot of children are having a good immunity and they come out of it. So develop the immunity. Now onwards, wake up. We are having less problems because immunities are strong. Where the immunity is less, the problems are more.
So it's just a continuous question to the one of the topics that you mentioned. So this question is from Pragyan. who's 8 years old. So will continuous use of alcohol-based hand sanitizer affect my hands? So this is from Pragyan Modern Public School, Delhi. He's 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is a very good question. And that is why just now I said do not use sanitizer too much, especially if he's 8 years old. Then I think skin is very soft and supple. Sanitizer, what happens, it removes the moisture from the skin. If continuous use of sanitizer will definitely damage the skin over the period of time. Not in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, but if prolonged use is there, it may affect. So more often use soap and water, and if soap and water is not available, then only use sanitizer.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation and also patiently answering all the questions. Now I hand over the session to Balagopalji. Balagopalji, you have to unmute your mic and then speak.
Is it okay? Is it okay, Vignesh?
Yeah, we can listen.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Sure.
hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Pankajji, you have given a very
Yes.
amazing speech. And because you are educating the general public, how this hygiene system, our Prime Minister is also making all his time for this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. But he's telling once when I visited him, is that I am sitting at top money at that time. And spending lot of government resources to make the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan live. He said, in spite of my strength as the Prime Minister and my request to the all state chief ministers, the desired population. That is why I used to admire, but he's telling every time, Balagopalji, but no, Balagopalji is only a, what they call is a catalyst. He used to tell, I used to tell him that your action, when I say this, what they call this, Janus initiative, it was when he started, there was only 2 doctors with him. In the last 10th year anniversary, I went to UP, like now, and I saw some more than 100 doctors are with him to help him. They are ready to go to the villages. That is the need of the day. And in Kerala also I witnessed. That's why I love Pankajji very much. He could make his fellow men. Previously, the doctors were not coming to the rural areas. Now they are coming to the rural areas, and without any many what you call fee, they are working with them. They are doing. They are controlling their health problem, health issues. That's a great thing. That's a I admire Dr. Pankajji for that. And Pankajji has never gone for money also. Pankajji, they are all, these doctors are all distributing, contributing. Pankajji, though our Union Health Minister, Dr. Harshavardhan, they were college mates in Kanpur University. Harshavardhanji and our Pankajji are studying for MBBS. They have developed a good friendship. And he can ask Harshavardhanji support. No, he wanted to have people support. That will only last. And what he lost in this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, there was no public involvement. The entire thing was done through the officials, bureaucracy, only through bureaucracy. And I told them, without involving civil societies and people's action, no development can take place. That's why now it is not social work. Now we have to go for social development work. I want all the participants to spend some 1 hour for social development work in their village, so that you will be respected. The entire area will be respected because of the development. But Pankajji is a is a role model. I want people like Pankajji throughout the state, throughout the country, in every villages, in every villages. Then only our dream of what you call that Modi's dream of making India one of the healthiest country of the world. Pankajji, thank you for your association with us and your committed work. I admire you. Thank you,
Thank
Pankajji.
you. Thank
And
you.
now
Thank you,
Vignesh, see,
Balgopal.
Vignesh is doing commendable work. He, after he joined PN Panikar Foundation, he is going to the more heights. According to me, after 2 years, we will not get him. He will be abroad. And he will be with some, yes, I'm not joking. He has been invited. He has been invited to UK and Commonwealth and other Commonwealth organizations. He's a man of active action. There's a man of action with the knowledge. So, Vignesh, I'm grateful to you for organizing such a programs because now this year we are planning to have 24 programs. I think this is the 21st program, webinar in the webinar. And we have organized massive competitions for children. More than 50,000 children participated.
Great.
That's a big record during this COVID period. That's the thing. During the COVID periods, COVID days. That is great.
Great.
Because the credit goes to our Vignesh because he made a platform so that these students can have it through the digital platform. That's why we are telling this year we are going to 3 lakhs and odd homes, but it is not 3 lakhs people. It is 12 lakh peoples. Every home will have four people, and 3 lakhs into 4. We have gone to 12 lakhs people. Our target was to reach 50 lakhs people earlier. Because of COVID, everything has gone. At least we must reach 20 lakhs. But we are happy that we could reach this year more than 12 lakhs people with our message of reading and digital reading for empowerment. Thank you, Vignesh. Thank you, Pankaj again. Thank you, all the participants attended the program. Thank you.
Thanks, Balgopalji, and thanks, Vignesh, for organizing wonderful program.
Thank you, sir. So thanks to Balagopalji and you for taking out time. And participants, we have some housekeeping announcement. I've just shared the feedback form URL. So you just have to fill the form and then you can download the certificate in case if it asks for you to register. So I'm now entering both the registration URL and the feedback form URL. And 99% of the participants download their certificates within 30 minutes. So that's a very good sign. So kindly encourage you to download your certificate within 30 minutes. And tomorrow we have a webinar on creation of learning resource materials using the National Digital Library of India by Professor Partha Pratyum Chakravarti, who is one of those founding members of National Digital Library of India. And he was the former director of IIT Kharagpur, and he is a very highly distinguished professor of computer science and engineering. So you will be able to hear from him about the usage of NDLI, National Digital Library of India, for creation of learning resource materials. That is scheduled for tomorrow evening 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So I request, I've just shared the URL for this webinar in the chat box. So kindly join in for tomorrow's webinar as well. Kindly register yourself and then join tomorrow evening 6 o'clock. I once again thank Balagopalji and Dr. Pankaj for being such a great support. Without your support, people like your support, we will not be able to achieve what we could during this year's 25th PN Panikar National Reading and Digital Reading Month celebrations. And a special thanks to all the participants because it's 21st webinar, and in none of our webinars it's the participants are less than 300. And special thanks to our National Digital Library of India team who are extending all the technical support to make this happen. Thank you all the participants, and once again thanks to the PN Panikar Foundation for making it happen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.